Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern... Wait a minute, this isn't Modern Warfare 3 in-depth at all. No, but the thumbnail looked so similar. It was a little bit deceptive. I used a very similar thumbnail because this is a similar gun review style video, but I decided to take it more casual. MW3 in-depth, the in-depth is completely gone, but I am going to do some more comparative type gun reviews. We're going to do it in a more casual manner. I'm going to compare the guns and talk about other things in the process. This video is the M16A4 after it's been buffed versus the Type 95. Which one is better? Are they overpowered? Is one overpowered? Is one not? Is one weak? What would you use? Well, you're going to find out today. Also, the gameplay that you're watching is two games. First game, I'm going to use a little M16, then swap over to the Type 95. The second game is going to be almost all M16. I'm playing with members of Team DRFT. Those are just subscribers, followers. That's you guys. If you're watching this video, you're on Team DRFT. And these gameplays will show you that teamwork is better than skill. I'm not going to lie to you. I play like a scrub in this game, and I play like a scrub in the next game, and all of the guys on Team DRFT, all of the subscribers that came in to play with me, we played scrubby, we did bad, we played garbage, but we worked together very, very well. We didn't quit, we didn't give up, and we fought tooth and nail, and we managed to win the objective every single game, which I think is great. If you're wondering why I am using the Specialist Strike package instead of a more team-oriented one like the Assault or Support, that's because I have the commentator monkey always on my shoulder telling me, other commentators get Moabs. You should go for the Moab. You suck if you don't get a Moab. This was a picture drawn by a fan/subscriber on Twitter. Twitter have followers. Yeah, it was a Twitter follower. I kind of like the picture. The monkey was great. The speech bubble was great. Not such a big fan of the teeth there. The teeth, I don't know. I just kind of look like a hideous goblin. You got the hair dead on, though. Great picture. Anyway, let's talk about the M16 and the Type 95. The first thing that you're going to want to know about this, just like the in-depth episodes, is which of these weapons does the most damage, and the answer is they do about the same damage, but some of the numbers are jumbled around. The M16 deals 50 damage up close, but will drop off to 25 damage at a distance, and the Type 95 does 55 damage up close, but drops off to 25 at a distance. And the thing that a lot of people are going to do, they're going to jump on that 55 damage and say that's higher damage, that's better, that's better, that's better. But what you need to look at is the shots to kill, because you have 100 health in Modern Warfare 3, and what that means is, as far as how many bullets it takes, their close-range bullets are the same. The M16 is going to kill in 2 hits up close and 4 at a distance, and the Type 95 is going to kill up 2 hits up close and 5 at a distance. What? Takes one more bullet at a distance to kill? Yeah. If you miss some of those bursts, that can make a big, big difference. The most important thing, however, when comparing these two is you want to compare the 2-shot kill range, the range at which the gun kills in 2 shots. Now, the M16 is coded to have much longer, well, not much longer, like 20 or 30% longer range than the Type 95, but the Type 95 starts off at that higher damage, so it starts dropping and it has a linear slope. I did the math, and I found out that the 2-shot kill range on the M16 is around 25 meters. There's some decimal places there, and the 2-shot kill range on the Type 95 is 24 meters. There's some rounding, there's going to be some other factors. I'm going to say that these are essentially the same. As far as the game is concerned, and especially when you're playing it and running and jumping and moving really, really fast, the difference between 25 meters and 24 meters is almost negligible. You'll kill people in the same bullets in about the same amount of time with M16 and Type 95, at least in close quarters combat. Let's take a step back and look at that overall shot to kill again, or just mentally picture it. The M16 is definitely going to win at long range because it only takes 4 shots to kill. That's 1 complete burst and then 1 extra, whereas the Type 95 takes almost 2 complete bursts. 5 shots is 5 out of 6 shots. Yeah, that's 5/6 of 2 bursts. I don't know how you want to do that math. It's a little bit nutty, but if you consider the fact that you're going to be missing some shots at range, or you could even miss some shots at close range, the Type 95 is definitely going to lose out to the M16 at long range as far as shots to kill and damage is concerned, but in the close quarters it's virtually negligible. I can't imagine how that 5 damage would really make much difference. Maybe if you're doing something crazy with ballistic vest and the dude is hit by a grenade and he's recovering health or something extreme, but it's really not going to make much difference. Let's change gears a little bit and look at rates of fire. Now, the M16 was buffed not only with increased damage, but with an increased rate of fire. The new M16 now shoots at 895 RPM, whereas the Type 95 has not changed rates of fire anyway since the game's inception, and it shoots at 1,000 RPM. These rates of fire are fairly similar. There's really only about 10 or 11% difference between the two, or 12% depending on which one of these you want your base to be. If you put rapid fire on the M16, it's going to shoot closer to, I don't know, like 1080, 1120, something like that. Something around 1100 RPM. I don't know the numbers exactly. Rapid fire is a little funny. You should probably watch the rapid fire in-depth episode. It does weird things to guns. That's going to be faster than the Type 95, but that doesn't make much difference because it kind of wastes an attachment space when you could just have the Type 95 and it shoots faster. So the Type 95 definitely wins in terms of rate of fire, but considering that the rates of fire are very close and the damages are very close, the actual time to kill is essentially the same. When I did the math, or actually I didn't do the math, I just looked at the stat charts, and that's the secret behind the in-depth is the stat charts. The Type 95 kills faster than the M16 in close range by 2 milliseconds, or 2 1,000ths of a second, or 1 divided by 500 seconds-ish. I don't know. My mental math, especially when I'm staring at the big poster of Jesus in the back room or the webcam or anything in this room, is really, really bad. Always trust the numbers I put on the screen. Don't trust my mental math. But the time to kill for these weapons in close quarters is essentially the same. Even at longer ranges, the Type 95 only loses out to the M16 in time to kill by very, very small amounts, almost imperceptible amounts. I would like to say that the time to kill is exactly the same all the way across the board, but it's not. The M16 will perform a little better over range, but you have to play a lot of Call of Duty, and I mean lots and lots of Call of Duty. You have to be a Call of Duty god to notice the difference in times to kill. Accuracy is going to be a different thing here. The big hindrance to your time to kill, and the one that you're going to notice the most, is the accuracy factor. The accuracy factor in this game, not accuracy factor, just the accuracy in the game, is calculated 2 ways. Each weapon has a kick built into it, and each weapon has a center speed. The kick that's built into a weapon is just a numerical measurement. I believe it's actually an angular measurement, but you could probably make it just a scalar direction, and it would work almost as well. So it kicks the gun in one direction or the other, up, down, left, right. The Type 95 has less actual kick and less actual recoil than the M16. That means on a shot-by-shot basis, the Type 95 will kick less left, right, up, down, whatever direction, and would theoretically be more accurate if it were not for the center speed. The M16 has a significantly faster center speed, and the center speed is the time at which it takes your dot sight or your iron sights or whatever you're aiming with to go up, to return from its maximum deflection. So you'll shoot once, and your gun will kick up like a couple of degrees or like 2 inches on the screen, and the center speed is however long it takes that to go back down to 0. Because I'm sure you've seen with, especially like if you hip fire weapons or something, or with the light machine guns, when you bullet hose, your gun will almost kick up into the sky, but then when you stop shooting, it'll return back to where you left it. That's the center speed. The M16 has a significantly faster center speed, so even though it has slightly more recoil per kick, the center speed counters it better, and it allows you to fire it more accurately in between bursts, or at a higher rate of fire more accurately. So I would say that overall the M16 is more accurate, though the difference between the two isn't too noticeable until you get to very, very long range. Medium, close range, pretty much the same. I really couldn't tell the difference. At very, very long ranges, the M16 is definitely going to beat it out in terms of accuracy, and because of the increased damage, it's definitely going to beat it out in shots to kill, and shots to kill and increase accuracy. Therefore, in time to kill, the M16 is definitely going to beat the Type 95 at long range. That's not all she wrote for these two guns. The M16 has several other things going for it. Most noticeably, the M16 has a faster reload. The Type 95, in one of the initial nerf phases, had its reload time reduced to make it a less appealing weapon. It's now one of the slower reloading assault rifles in Modern Warfare 3. The M16 did not get this change, so the M16 maintains its normal, relatively fast reload time. It's the same speed as most of the other assault rifles, but it's faster than the Type 95 just because the Type 95 is so slow. The M16 also has a faster raised drop time than the Type 95. That's how quickly you pull the gun out and how quickly you can put it away. The total time to swap weapons is the raise time of whatever gun you're pulling out and the drop time of whatever gun you're putting away. So overall, with the M16, you'll be able to swap weapons faster. This really isn't that big of a deal unless you're running something like an MP9 like I do. So in close quarters combat, even though these guns are two-shot kills, I'm sometimes a little bit scared or a little bit wary of banking everything on that one shot, because if I miss that shot, I'm totally screwed. I just have to wait way too long for the second burst. So I'll run an MP9 or a Magnum or something like that. Or if you're running an overkill class, but not sleight of hand, and you're worried about taking a really long time to swap weapons back and forth, the M16 is going to swap something like 0.2 of a second faster. It's not crazy fast. Most people wouldn't notice it unless they're hardcore MLG pros or something, but the M16 has a faster raise and drop time. The biggest difference, the most functional difference between these two, the one that you're going to notice right away, is that the hipfire on the M16 is better. Another one of the nerfs that was applied to the Type 95 was that its hipfire was made worse, because when the game first came out, it was basically a shotgun in close range. It'd shoot 1-2 and you're dead, but it would be like super fast, like 1/20th of a second almost. So everybody called it the Type 95 shotgun. Type 95 is best at long range. Type 95 is best at close range. Type 95 dominates anything. I'm thinking about Booman's video again. But one of the more effective nerfs to the Type 95 is they made its hipfire worse, so in close quarters combat you can't hose people down as easily, you're more likely to miss. The M16 never had this nerf applied to it, so it retains its standard assault rifle hipfire, which is significantly better. So while the damage and time to kill and shots to kill is all basically the same in close range, when you're aiming down sights, these guns are definitely not equal when you aren't aiming down sights. I don't believe that I get specialist or steady aim at any particular point in this game, but trust me on this one, the M16 hipfire is significantly better than the Type 95 hipfire, and if you like hipfire and if you like spraying from the hip, if you panic and spray from the hip, you're going to want to use the M16. And at this point in the commentary, you're going to be asking yourself, well, you probably already know my answer, but you're going to say, which gun is better? Drifter, which gun should I use? Which gun is the overall best? And if you haven't noticed the bias built into the episode already, the M16 is definitely better. It reloads faster, it swaps faster, it has virtually the same accuracy and time to kill in close range, but is vastly superior at long-range combat, better hipfire, everything. The M16 now more or less dominates the Type 95. If you take the Type 95 and put rapid fire on it in close quarters combat, it still will edge out the M16, but we're talking barely. Ever so very barely. We're working on hundredths of a second here, 1/50th, 1/30th of a second, just something like one frame in this game on your console, because the console is probably going to run about 25, 30, 35 FPS. If you're on PC, if you're like one of those crazy laser eye PCs, I just keep thinking about watching Amy X2's videos, especially when she did the Ghost Story commentary on this channel, and just watching the way PC players move and how fast they turn around and just nail people. Like, I don't know, they look like aimbots. That might be a big deal to you, but it really shouldn't be. Human beings shouldn't be able to move that fast. So the M16 is the overall better weapon. Now, the thing that you're really going to be wondering right now is, well, the Type 95 was overpowered. Nobody liked the Type 95. Drifter, you bitched about the Type 95 all the time. You said, oh, try Type 95 or tryhards, blah, blah, blah. I'm Drifter. I'm too good to use the Type 95. So now that the M16 is better than the Type 95, is the M16 overpowered? And the answer is, yeah, it really is. The M16 probably is overpowered. It doesn't feel overpowered because it was just patched recently, and it doesn't shoot quite as fast as the Type 95, so it doesn't have that same feel like you're dumping on people quite as hard, and it doesn't have the same stigma attached to it. That's the placebo effect thing, again, that the one gun is stigmatized, so no matter how bad you nerf it, it's always going to be the cheap gun or the bad gun, and this one, because people liked it from COD 4, no matter how much you buff it, that's totally going to be the skillful and good gun. But yeah, the M16 really is overpowered if you look at it numerically. I have some good news for all of you. For those of you that stuck through the near 15 minutes of commentary to hit this point, your Gamma Lab G Fuel samples have shipped. Yes, your G Fuel samples have shipped. They have finally shipped. I know you signed up for the free samples months and months and months ago. They've shipped. If you're watching this commentary, yours has already been mailed, or they're in the warehouse packaging it furiously right now. I've been talking to Gamma for a while. They've finally shipped, and I think since you guys won the contest, more of you signed up than anything else, you guys get priority shipping over the other commentators, though. Don't quote me on that. Not entirely sure about that one. So pretty soon in the mail, you'll be getting something that looks a lot like this, just kind of depending on what flavor you ordered. Again, I'll reiterate that I like the lemon lime one, the one on the right, by far the best. After that, the fruit punch one's good. The blue ice, I mean, I know Gamma pays me to say all the stuff is great. I just really never liked blue ice. A lot of people do. I think that's all the other commentators, that's their favorite one. I just never really cared for it, but lemon lime is the best. Definitely go for lemon lime. And For those of you that are wondering, I'm really excited about this for a lot of reasons. Number one is because they had a contest at Gamma, like I said in the video, where they were going to pay the commentators based on who had the most people sign up for free requests. And it just so happened that you guys beat out everybody else. It also just so happened that the money I got from that was the exact amount of money I needed to fix the computer that died. That's how most of my sponsorships go, really. I had another one a couple weeks back. I got paid to do the commentary on the video games channel, and they paid me really well, and I was really excited about it. I was like, man, I got all this extra money. I'm going to go buy myself something cool. And go see the eye doctor the next day, and the eye doctor's like, ha ha ha, your vision is shitty. You need to buy my expensive glasses. And it turned out to be just about however much I made from the sponsorship. That's generally how it works. Somebody will pay me really well for something. I'm like, man, I'm doing great. I got this extra money. And then God or fate or whatever you want to call it's like, haha, all your shit's broken. Spend your extra money right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys experience the same thing. Anyway, the cool thing was you beat out these other huge commentators. The people that requested the most were you guys, Team Drift. Number 2 was Woody, and number 3 was GRIZZ, and then 4 through like 25 was everyone else. And to think about this is Woody. Like I think he's at 800,000 subscribers. GRIZZ is 450, 500,000 subscribers. Very active, very popular people, very good commentators. And I'm at, when I did the video, I was at like 80,000, 90,000, something like that. That was before I broke 100K. It's just crazy the percentage of you that cared enough to respond, and I really appreciate that. And 4 to 25 as everyone else, that's all the MLG pros, that's all of Team Envious, that's T. Martin's the biggest name that's coming to mind, Jericho. All these people were just way down there, and that's really cool that you guys did that for me when I asked you to. And that's one of the reasons that these things took so long to ship, is that there were too many people requesting samples. When Gamma first rolled out the initiative, they were I don't think they kind of liked the response that they had when they were talking to the gamers on the phone, and they were like, you know, maybe they're not buying it. So they decided to change the reward process, where they set a fixed amount. We're like, we'll pay you a little bit if you can get 250 people to sign up, which for all of us that would have been, you know, like 200. I guess they were expecting around 2,000 or 3,000 people to actually get requests, or 2,000 or 3,000 fans or something. So they weren't too optimistic. And then between me and Woody, T. Martin, GRIZZ, and all these other people that Wicked Shrapnel, I think he's on board too, 95,000 people signed up for free request. That's almost 50 times what they projected. It didn't quite break 100,000, but that's 95,000 people went out of their way. It wasn't like click a button, give me this. You guys went out of your way to go to the Facebook page, to sign up for a bunch of stuff, give away your address or whatever, and request it. And it was astounding, and it blew Gamma away. They were, I mean, the next week they called us, they were like, what the shit is happening? There's so many requests, we can't keep up with it. So the reason it took so long to ship is they had to order, like I said, like 50 times more product than they had to expect it, and they had to get the manufacturing on board, to print out the paper, to redesign the boxes, to overhaul the website, to handle the load, to just to barely be able to support you guys. To put this in perspective, just the envelopes that these things mail in, they had to move the envelopes that this stuff was mailed in a fucking forklift. There was that much stuff, and that's really cool. I think that's a really amazing thing. What's crazy about this is that it was you guys that did it. You know, they give me and all the other commentators credit for this, but we're just kind of like fat, sweaty guys that sit on our asses and play Call of Duty and do commentaries in our underwear while we're covered in green jello. Not really, anyway. But it was you guys that actually wanted the stuff, to put that huge of a demand on there that caused this. And the demand was so huge that other companies took notice. I can't tell you everything. I know that right now Fry's Electronics is trying to work out a deal with Gamma to put Gamma in the stores. I think they're trying to work out a deal where they get all the commentators to come to Fry's Electronics to do like fan meetups, and I think they may also incorporate, like, print off an online coupon, like, and there would be like a drifter coupon where you can walk into a physical store and use my coupon to buy the stuff. And several other companies that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, they saw this and they're like, holy shit, people love this Gamma, or, man, Gamma's big on YouTube. This is where we gotta be. And it isn't because, you know, the Gamma team is so good at advertising, or because I'm so good at convincing you guys to do things. It was because you actually wanted it, and a huge mass of people moved in and demanded it, and change the shape of the company, and if this is successful, it might actually change the shape of marketing in the future, which is really crazy, and I think that's awesome, and I think you guys are awesome, and I'm really thankful for that. Unfortunately, I have to tell you that the free sign-up thing is completely over. There are no more free sign-ups. They ended that. Right now, the G Fuel has moved into the selling online phase, so for those of you that got your free samples, you should get it at least within a week of seeing this commentary. If you live in New Zealand or Finland or Russia or something, maybe 2 weeks, because international post is slow, but you should be getting it very, very soon. For everybody else that missed that boat, unfortunately, you're going to have to chunk up, I forget how much they're selling it for. I think there's, you know, a couple different sizes. Pony up some cash if you'd like to try some, or maybe hold out another week or two until they're in physical stores, which would be really, really cool. But I'll put a link down there in the description so you can check out the buy page and all that, and because, you know, that I'm sponsored, that's what they want me to do. But I just thought that this whole process was really cool, and I wanted to share that with you. And if you would like to try G Fuel, I'd recommend that you just go there and sign up for the minimum sample, like the minimum size, because I don't want you to buy like a whole ton of something and end up not liking it. Just try the minimum, and I highly recommend the lemon lime. The lemon lime is the one that I just think is by far better than the others. The fruit punch is fruit punch. It's not bad, but it's not like the tastiest thing in the world. It's not like a soda. It's not like drinking candy. The blue one I never really got behind. That was not my flavor, but the lemon lime tastes like lime. I'm a big lime guy. I like key lime pie. I like lemon drinks. I like the sweet and sour. And thankfully, I mean, the drink it's basically no sugar, no carbohydrates, no fat, no artificial sweeteners, no all of those unhealthy things that we like to drink. So they struggle with the sweetening aspect, but since lime is like this bittersweet, this sour sweet, that's way easier to do, and they just nailed that lime flavor like right on the head. It's kind of like getting a really stout like key lime pie in a shake, which I kind of like. And it kind of kicks my ass when it comes to caffeine, so I have to drink them very sparingly. I don't overdose on that shit. I know some of you live off energy drinks, but I take it more cautiously, like when I have to do homework overnight or really need to do a commentary or something like that. Anyway, getting off track, too much product promotion here. I hope you enjoyed this whole super long commentary, and for those of you that watched to the very, very end of this, thank you. Drifter out.